Okay, so global climate change, it's here. We're going to have to deal with it. It's just a reality of our world, and we created it, basically. How do we deal with it? We have something called an action plan, Global Climate Change Action Plan. And as part of this action plan, we basically know that as a background from all of this stuff that I've been talking about, humans are responsible. We are responsible for the problem that we're faced with today. And we have global human population growth that's completely out of control. 7.7 billion people. That doesn't help matters. We also have exorbitant consumerism. So there's something called an ecological footprint, and it shows how much land does every person in a given society, how much land is needed to support them. And you might imagine in the developed countries like us, we have a really huge ecological footprint. In the US, it's 6.8 hectares. A hectare is 2.5 acres. So if you think about a house on a half-acre lot, this is the equivalent of 17 acres. 17 acres is required for every man, woman, and child in the U.S. to support them. Other parts of the world, it's much lower. In more primitive parts of the world, go live in a grass hut, you have a much lower ecological footprint. I'm not saying that, but it's something to think about. All right, so humans are responsible. So how do we deal with it? So we have two different approaches. One of them is climate mitigation. And climate mitigation is any action that is taken to permanently eliminate or reduce the global climate change hazard. So this is going to be the things like reducing chlorofluorocarbons, to reduce the CO2. Really and truly, it's the CO2 or methane. One point I haven't made here that I need to mention is we had said the Arctic ice being gone in 30 years. What is under that ice? There's a whole lot of organic matter that's burping methane up into the atmosphere as it melts out. And this has been studied, and we know. And methane is 25 times. It has the heat absorption capacity that is 25 times greater than CO2. It's a much lower concentration in the atmosphere, but as it rises, it will really rapidly increase temperature. So trying to deal with CO2 and other carbon-containing molecules, that's a climate mitigation approach. Improving energy efficiency. So if we don't, so we say, yeah, well, my car runs on gasoline, but if you get a car that gets good gas mileage, you're slowing down the amount of CO2 that's being put in the atmosphere. Or get a Tesla. I'd take one. I know, they're expensive. Okay, so climate mitigation is dealing with either eliminating or reducing the hazards. Then there's this other approach, climate adaptation. We have to do both. So obviously we're going to continue to have problems, but as the temperature rises, we can develop new heat-tolerant crops. That's a climate adaptation. As sea level rises, we're going to be threatening our coastal cities. We're going to have to build walls to protect them, seawalls. And we had said that as temperatures rise, we have more and more health problems. So we're going to need to enhance the public health agencies. So, okay. That is all I have to say. I think I've been talking for quite a while today. All I have to say about global climate change for now. I'll talk a little bit more about it on Wednesday. See you on the other side.